Is Ukraine attacking inside Russia? And is that okay? And what does it mean for the state of play? All right. I want to bring in somebody who understands very well what is going on, has been following it very closely and helping us, retired U.S. Army Brigadier General Peter Zwack. It's good to see you, General. Ukraine says, no, this is Russia's incompetence. Russia says, no, we had to shoot down your missiles over populated areas. What do you believe?
Well, I think that the fundamental aspect of this, Chris, is that you have ongoing Russian, very vicious invasion. And there are a lot of missiles flying in different directions, a lot of them air defense. Things will hit the target intended. There'll be misfires, and then there'll be things that will be hit in the air and fall down as debris. The Ukrainians have every right to defend their airspace. And certainly in regard to Ukraine, to Crimea, which is a current Ukrainian occupied land by the Russians. Yes, they have every right to hit inside Russian targets there, including the bridge.
Two more quick things. One,
yes.
I like to apply the why lie test when people have opposing stories. Russia has been hitting populated areas almost exclusively when it can, so it doesn't need an excuse to go after populated areas. So why would they lie about Ukraine attacking them as a catalyst to go after populated areas? They're doing it anyway, whereas Ukraine does have motivation to lie because it is not a good look for them to be attacking Russians in a way that we don't like happening inside Ukraine. So maybe Ukraine can't be believed on this. And why would they lie about it?
Well, first of all, on the Ukraine side, they will not go public on their. They've been doing this whether inside or outside of Ukraine on what they do, what they don't do. We saw what happened over the Duma in Moscow. You could call it plausible denial. A lot of it is accidental. Where the Russians lie, I mean, in a way, where we will see blatantly major civilian targets hit. You'll see the church was just hit down in Odessa, and then they'll deny it. They'll flat out deny it. It's repeated behavior, Chris, for the last over 16 months. And the same viciousness applies, which really, really makes it hard for the Russians to get on a soapbox and say that they're being unfairly attacked or these are terrorist attacks from Ukraine, which are far and rare in between.
Last question, most important question. What do we now know about the state of play in terms of whether Ukraine is making gains and pushing this to a point that's anywhere near suggestive of a conclusion?
Chris, I think it's how you define success. And, the old line in business or in military, you know it when you see it. The bottom line is that we've been watching the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks, a ugly Verdun type of stalemate where the hope, if you are supporting Ukraine, is that they have been at great cost wearing down the Russians to a point where there have been seams that have been opening up. And it looks like something is significant going on in Zaporizhia, down on the axis toward the Sea of Azov, Black Sea, where you have Melitopol and Berdyansk. If they get there, and it's a big mission, and they're a long way from that, then they cut the corridor to Crimea. The other attack front to watch is Bakhmut, which is the Verdun of this war. Right. And the Ukrainians are making gains. And I can't imagine the Russian reaction if the Ukrainians actually. So there are gains. There are successes. We need to maintain tactical patience. They're getting movement. They've committed now, apparently, their best reserves. And the Russians, as you know, you've been watching, down from the Kharkiv area, have been trying to take the pressure off with attacks on the Ukrainian flank up near Luhansk. This is far from over, but there is seeming progress. Too soon to call success.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.